Oh yeah, welcome back to Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the Sexes.
If y'all hear a bunch of noises in the background, forgive me, it's not my choice to do it. It's just people that are doing construction around my ends, and well, editing can't exactly fix everything without screwing some shit up. Anyways, welcome to Break Time on Westside, your number one break time podcast, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. Man on the mic is Denver B. We are on episode 23 of Battle of the Sexes. And for those of you that might not know, which is probably most of you, episode 24 will be the season 2 finale. After that, we will take a break of about 2 weeks, maybe 3 if I'm feeling like I need more vacation time. And then we come back. But before that happens, y'all know very well there's one more episode. So we still have a bit of time together. Anyways, before I kick shit off, there was this thing that came out towards the end of last week about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry leaving the royal duties and going to become financially independent. And in my head, I'm like, they probably just did that because Meghan probably got disrespected. Because if she black, she probably get disrespected. And because Harry just looks at Meghan and he's like, oh, I don't care who the hell says what. I'm doing whatever the hell she says. Because if it was me, I'd probably say the exact same thing. Meghan is fine AF. But anyways, thirsting aside, the Megxit, as I'm calling it, should be going on pretty well. And I bet there are a bunch of people busy fighting, and then you'll see on the British news, apparently Prince William isn't very happy, but is still supportive. But in like the background, these fuckers are fighting their asses off. They want to punch each face. The Queen is probably crying like, oh my goodness, how the hell could my grandson do such a thing to us? This melodramatic act should stop. Harry, why are you doing this to us, Harry? Anyways, now that I think of it, I probably shouldn't even be talking about this shit. It's absolute bullshit, by the way. But the way I see it, a lot of times families do kind of clash. And actually, speaking of families, I had a friend who was having a near similar situation and a boyfriend, and parents weren't exactly on the best terms, but stuff seems to be working out. So that goes to prove that as long as you're not in the royal family, shit should go pretty well nonetheless. But anyways, that isn't what I came to talk about. For those of you all that didn't like that, at least now you know that after this point, I'm moving on to something else. Now, while I was on Twitter during a couple of days back, about 2-3 days back, there was this post that I saw. All right, it goes like this. If he starts acting weird in the relationship, just show him the list of guys in your DM, his head will go back to default setting. And I don't know, like I usually never get like moved by a lot of people's posts, especially on Twitter, because I know it's purely opinion. People have their opinions and so on. But this one particularly hit me right on like the left side of my body, right next to my lung, just under there, you know, like where my heart is. Because this is some shit that I've heard for so bloody long. And the worst bit about it was, this was being said by a guy, like an African human being, like a real nigger, supposedly thinking that he is a real nigger for saying such shit. Now, forgive me for saying much, but yo, how the fuck is this supposed to do shit to us? And here's the problem. He isn't the only nigger to actually say this. Not too long ago, I was on Twitter again, and there was someone who actually came out and said pretty much the same thing. He said, women have options like crazy. You are smashing right now because one of her other options acted like a fool. Have options, son. Now, besides that final statement, which I entirely agree with, you know, always keep your options open and shit, the rest of it was absolute bullshit. It was abso-fucking-lutely bullshit. Because that pretty much just starts to paint on guys as nothing but hunters with zero options, and it's like we're begging. It's like we're begging to be loved. It's like we're begging to be accepted. it's like the only way you can get a shorty is if she doesn't have options. As in, you have pretty much succumbed to being good enough. And forgive me for this, but I think good enough is fucking screwed up. I do not want to be someone's second option. It's either I'm the first or I'm not an option at any point whatsoever. Because the way I see it, if you're a second option, people will make compromises on you. People will expect you to make compromises. But at some point, they will start treating you like a second-class citizen. And if anything, you all know when someone says that they're being treated like a second-class citizen, then they probably feel like they're being treated like shit. Now, if that doesn't even discount it enough, if the first option was to come back, there's a very good chance that your own significant other, your own shorty, your own nigger, your own tranny, whichever sex it is, will probably cheat on you with that person because they came back. Fine, yes, everyone likes to claim that they're faithful, blah, blah, blah. But let's be honest. For those of us who've been in Nairobi long enough, we know very well. Nairobi is one big bedroom. People will screw around left and right. The only difference is sometimes you might know that shit, sometimes you might not. And you just have to hope that you're not a victim of such unfaithfulness and fuckery. So obviously, like, if you're good enough, it means that you're more susceptible to being cheated on. And that's just fucked up. Because how the hell is it that you're supposed to enjoy your relationship, be in a happy relationship, if you're constantly being treated like shit? Niggas, are you ready to treat yourselves like this? This is why a lot of you are single, eh? For some of us, we're single by circumstance. For others, it's mostly because y'all are busy looking at yourselves like your actual shit, like you're second-class citizens like this. Well, yeah, although that being said, I have been seeing this shit about, women will go for guys in relationships but don't go for guys who are single. I don't know why the fuck they do that. But, that is besides the point. I do not succumb to such shit because I feel as though if you become good enough, if you feel as though you're only there because there was some other hot guy that you're not, it just means that you have a confidence issue. It means that you have fairly low self-esteem. No matter how flossy, no matter how big you might, no matter how good looking, no matter how, proper you might look to someone, low confidence is a turn off. And this is something that even applies to women. Women, if you didn't know this, let me educate you with some of this shit. If you don't have confidence, no matter how fine you are, you will not be as much of a turn on. If people still approach you and you have low confidence, it means that they're trying to take advantage of you. And that's just facts. Now, on to the women. Because y'all are the people I have beef with. Y'all are the ones that are busy bringing this shit up. Every single time, well, not every single time, but you get the point. Almost every single time, you find that some guy and his shorty are arguing. At some point, you will hear the shorty coming through with this whole lineup of, you're not the only guy that I can date. I can go into my DMs and there's a ton of other people there. This I have heard happen once. I have seen this shit being written online a bunch of times. I have seen women talk about this in open forums more and more and more. They will always talk about how they always have options. That, you think I'm going to suffer when I leave you? I'll just go into my DMs and I'll just randomly pick any guy because I have a ton of people there. And of course, I am going to get myself a guy. Now, I'm not going to lie. That shit is very annoying, especially when you hear it continuously. And especially when they make it sound like they have all these guys in their DMs. Of which, let's be honest, there's a good chance that they don't. Actually, I will not even lie to you. Out of all of those they claim that they have in their DMs, I will tell you 3/4 of those women who say that shit barely have anyone in their DMs besides the ones that will comment on the funny posts that they'll post up on their stories, which are pretty much references to other posts that came from other Instagram accounts. Or maybe I'm just talking about my DMs. But anyways, that's besides the point. I'm talking about the women's DMs. Most of them don't even have that many people that are hitting on them. Chances are, most of them have fairly low-class, ugly niggas that are trying to impress this shorty by tossing compliments left, right, and center, which is why she ended up going for you, because she looked at you, she saw this nigga is the package that I want. I like what he has to offer, and I want that. Now she's gonna pull back and start talking about shit. When the fuck have you ever gone into a Mercedes dealership and then you get the car, and then the car has an issue, you bring it back, you're like, oh, you guys have such shit cars, by the way, not unless you guys style up and get me a really, really good car and repair this shit for free, I will go and buy myself a Toyota. I'm not saying that Toyotas are shit cars, even though sometimes they can be, but point is, at no point is someone supposed to come for your very classy, very confident, very good looking, very well made self, and then start talking shit about going for some niggas in their DMs who are bottom tier. I'm not saying that there are specific niggas that are bottom tier. If you're bottom tier, you'll just find yourself in the bottom tier one way or another. But I am talking about the people that have been doing shit for themselves, the people that are making some serious moves, the people that are out themselves, the ones that have girlfriends and they know that they are people worth something. If you feel like you're good enough by the I think this is a point in time when you're gonna look at me and be like, you know what, bro, these shorties actually have a point. They have niggas in their DMs. So what? So what if they have people in their DMs? You're still the one that got picked. Bruh, if your mother came through and told you that, you know what, I probably shouldn't have had you. I could have probably gotten any number of other kids because you're not the only sperm that your father nutted out. Think about it like this. If she said that, point is, you're the sperm that won. Whether she wants to make a noise or not, you're the sperm that won. And whether your shorty is going to make a noise or not and claim that she has DMs and they're there or not, either way, you're the one that ended up dating. So you're the one that's still winning. So I don't get why it is that y'all need to make it look like, oh, if I leave this nigga, he's going to suffer because he's going to go back to square one and I will go and I'll get some random guy from the DMs. I'm even going to tell you this for free, ladies, if you're listening. After you've left this nigga, there's an 80% chance you won't even go into those DMs. Because if one of those hot guys was hitting you up on them DMs, there's a good chance you'd have already left your nigga. Now, if you're gonna continue saying that shit, then by all means, continue doing it. Because even though you leave the relationship, then that means that you are pretty much already planning your exit, right? But you know what? I'll even pull back from that. Because I feel as though y'all still don't get the point. Y'all think that all of us niggas think the same way you do. And I'm talking to you ladies. Y'all think that because we'll see you with another man, because we'll see you busy posing, holding hands, that we'll particularly care. Now for some of us, especially if we've been in a toxic relationship and we don't give a flying fuck, we might just look at you and be like, that looks sweet. Anyways, scrolls past. Some of us actually don't give a damn who it is that you move on with. The fact is, we're not together, we can move the fuck on. Sometimes others will actually look forward to being single. So they're waiting for you to dump them and then go and start posting photos to other people while they are still getting a lot more smash outside the relationship. Like beyond it, I mean. And when you think about it, as much as you guys might think that you have so many people in your DMs, it's not like guys don't have people in their DMs as well. Women have permission to slide into guys' DMs. I'm just saying this so that y'all women actually understand that it's not like we don't have options as well. Also, there's Tinder, but that's a discussion for a different day and a different episode. So, what I am trying to say is, stop trying to pull that stop using that statement on us. Even though you have options, keep them to yourself. Frankly, I don't care if another guy is hitting on you. If they're hitting on you, the only thing that I really care about is, did you let him smash or nah? If you did, and we're in the relationship, then there's a problem. If you did and we're out of the relationship, then, well, it's your vagina. It's not mine. I really can't stop you. And the way I see it, even though you have options, fact is, you can't necessarily change someone just by threatening to leave them. As a lot of us like to say, there's a lot of fish in the sea. And I'm not going to start pining over one fish. And also, if I have options in my DMs, who says I can't go for them as well? And at least the options in my DMs might not necessarily know that I've broken up, which makes it seem like I'm still in a relationship, which means I probably still have chances to smash a bunch of extra women before people find out that I'm single, and then women start running away. Because I know how women work. You all wait for us to get into relationships and you're like, oh, I've been wanting you since like the 6th grade. Well, every single time I used to see you with this girl, I never used to like how you guys looked. I just thought that we'd look so much better together. Oh my goodness. Usually, when I think of me and you, I just think that we'd make the finest looking babies. Oh my word. Shit. Like, that shit is just annoying as hell. Like, you're automatically on demand when you're off the market. Then when you're on the market, you're no longer on demand. This is the bullshit that women feed us. But anyways, that being said, ladies, if you want to bring down a situation that you are having with your man, do not use the DMs I have options story. That is absolute bullshit. Some of us even have more options. There are times when some of us are dating you and you might be having 10 DMs and we have 20. I'm just trying to state facts here. So alternatively, tell them what the problem is. Ask them if they can do something about it. If they can, well and good. If they can't, reevaluate your options on whether you'd want to stay with them or nah. And also, don't forget that if you're tired of the relationship, you can leave. There's nothing special about being in a relationship. It's not the royal family. And hell, even with the royal family, Megxit is happening. So there's nothing special about, being royal and shit. You might be a power couple for your friends, but there's nothing much beyond that. The way I see it, I'd rather be happy while I'm single than suffering in a relationship busy trying to turn heads. Anyways, I want to know what your thoughts are on this. Do you honestly think that people just say this shit too damn much, yet they have no... and they just bluff the shit out of all of us? Or might they have some actual truth? Feedback, comments, criticisms, holla at me on Instagram at BreakTimeOnWestside. Also, on Facebook at BreakTime on Westside, and on Twitter you can hit me up on my personal Twitter handle at Bagaka the D. D is capital, of course. I will see you guys later.